Okay, guys, so I thought I would take the opportunity to do an eyeshadow video for you guys because I don't think I've ever showed you guys an eyeshadow tutorial. And so I thought today's the day. I'll show them. The palette that I'm going to be trying out is the Empowered Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette. And there was this look that Michaela Nogueira had on the other day. And I was obsessed with her eye look. I mean, it was just, oh man, it was speaking to me. And so I was like, you know what? I'll make a video and attempt it. So I have never attempted this before, guys. So bear with me. And I put on the Huda Beauty under eye corrector just to kind of even out my eyelid skin tone. Something that I would like to mention is if you don't have an eyeshadow base, concealer or especially under eye correctors works really well. I don't know if you guys can see the difference that it made in my eyelids. And then next what we're going to do on top of that is we're going to set it with some powder. Now you can use whatever setting powder in the world you would like. I am just using a fair shade powder. I believe it's the One Size finishing powder. Look at the difference. It really gives like a smooth appearance to the eyelid so that you can go in and have a perfect application to your eyeshadow. Now, listen, you can use a white powder if you wanted to. I like to use the fair powder just so that everything kind of blends and diffuses together so there's like not harsh white lines. But if you're going for like a super, super, super crazy eyeshadow look, then the white powder might be good for you. But I'm going for like a smooth transition. So having that fair finishing powder really, really helps. And I don't know if y'all can see that, but my eyelids now look smooth and perfect. And they are ready for foundation. I mean, not foundation, eyeshadow. Sorry about that. Now, first thing I'm going to do for like the top of my crease and more on the, a little bit on the lower eyelid, I am going to take my Morphe eyeshadow brush. Guys, I love these Morphe eyeshadow brushes. They are literally the best. And I'm using the M33. This is the eye blender. And I took my Too Faced palette and I am going to mix Swan. I'm going to mix the Swan and a little teeny bit of the Seashell, just because it's kind of like a skin color. And I'm going to brush that on the top, right underneath my eyebrows, just like so. And you need this brush in particular for this process, because it's going to make it so much easier, and the transition will be super, 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 super smooth. And so this is what you're going to do. And I'm just going to keep building on that until I get the desired look that I want under my brows. Now, you can do as little or as much as you want to. Now, for this eyeshadow look, I'm not going to do a super dark one. I'm just going to do like a little light dusting on above the eyelid, but just enough to give some dimension and some color to the eye, if that makes any sense. And then we're going to go in with our darker shades. Okay, now moving on to the Huda Beauty palette, I am going to again take my Morphe brush, and this is a different one. This is the M303. This is the eye packer, and I am going to attempt to do her eyeshadow look. Now, I just got to figure out what colors that I'm going to use. It was like a maroonish color, so I think I'm going to start off with the shade Power right here. And the reason why is because she kind of diffused out the maroon purplish color a little bit. So I feel like this peachy shade is going to really help diffuse out that maroon, because it kind of looked like that's what she had. And I know our eyes look super crazy, guys, but this again is trust the process. And you're just going to only dust a little bit on it. And the reason why you're going to use this brush and not the fluffy brush is because you don't want a ton of that peach all over the top of your eye. You only want like a small little bit. So that's why I'm using that eye packer. Now we're going to go on to our purple shade. And I think I'm going to use a mix of the Big Dreams and the shade Confident. I think I'm going to mix both of them. And we're just going to pack this on our lower lid, just like so, on both lids. And you're going to want to smooth and transition, smooth and transition, smooth and transition, and do all the things to both eyes. Okay, and now that I have all that packed in, I'm going to take the shade Rebel, and I am just going to lightly diffuse out the transition between the pink, that peachy color and the purpley color. I'm just going to try to smoothly transition between the two. This is kind of looking super, super crazy. I don't think that I'm necessarily repeating what she did. I think we're just kind of going with the flow of whatever this look is. Now I'm going to take some shade, some of the shade Power again, and I'm going to dust that on top of the purple just to kind of diffuse everything together and make the whole look kind of match. And I'm using that other fluffy brush again. And this definitely looks absolutely insane. Okay, now to have a smooth transition between everything, I'm going to go back in with my Swan and Seashell shade. And I'm going to just lightly dust it over the top of all of this to kind of like bring everything to life. Just to kind of make sure like everything goes together and everything matches. And you don't want it to be super, super, super crazy. Okay, like it's looking right now. So I think I like that. Now when I'm going to go in and I'm going to do my glitter shade. I just don't know which one I want to do yet. Okay guys, I think I'm going to go crazy. I think I'm going to do the shade Limitless right here. This looks so pigmented. Look at that. Oh yeah. I think this is going to look so good with this eye look. And I'm just going to brush it on the top. So it obviously did not achieve the look that I was going for. I definitely did not copy her look that I wanted to. That's for sure. But this one, it's not looking that bad. I don't know if I like the gold shimmer though. I don't know. I'm going to try to put some white on it. Okay, guys, now we're just looking crazy. I think this look definitely failed. So we're going to call this makeup tutorial eyeshadow a failure. We're going to try again with something very, very much more simpler. This was an absolute fail. This was an absolute fail.